Hey everybody, Brandon Dennis here, and now in this video we're going to go over what a membership business is, as well as why you should start one. We'll also be going over an example that shows how easily these things can scale to go from a $50 investment without any of your own product all the way up to $700 a month passively. So what is a membership business? So a membership business is, in essence, just a subscription model to something. Generally, this is information, this is some sort of service potentially, which kind of blends into like a software as a service based company, but in this case, we'll be looking at just the information provided. So accesses to courses, specific information, guidebooks, all that type of stuff that a individual will pay monthly for. So $9 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month, whatever your pricing is, even $2 a month. That is going to be based on a subscription model or a membership for that information or that business. So this type of model can be broken down into multiple different payment cycles, right? So you can have, generally it's a monthly payment. Sometimes it's good incentive to set up a 6-month initial payment so they subscribe for 6 months ahead of time, and sometimes a year by giving them a full discount. On top of that, it might actually be a good idea to actually provide a one-time payment that gives them unlimited access to the whole thing for life. So a few examples of what type of business this is. So if let's say you have a idea for a private Facebook group, right? What you can do is you can set up a WordPress website for $5-10 a month and go ahead and build that out, which again, there's hundreds of tutorials out there to be able to do that, and then have people subscribe through the web portal that you guys create to actually access the private Facebook group. And what's interesting about this is the Facebook group doesn't have to be yours. You can partner with the owner of that Facebook group to share some of the profits in there and eventually just keep the revenue coming in for both of you. Another example of this is RedTeamNation.com, which is one of the membership businesses that I own personally. And in that specific model, it is based on entirely on a course or courses that have been developed by me to actually produce on the site that everybody's paying monthly for to have unlimited access to. As new courses come out, for example, they get immediate access to that. There's no extra payments, there's no waiting, and they get it first. So you might be thinking to yourself, why even bother to start a membership business in the first place? Why not do drop shipping or anything else? Well, granted, you can start any of those you want. Membership businesses just seem to have a lower barrier to entry when it comes to a specific type of business model. Now, there are others that have lower barrier to entries or similar, but in this case, we'll be going over specifically the membership business since it can scale as high as you want it to. So the first reason is it's easy and quick to set up. You can have an entire membership business set up, ready to go, everything pre-built, website launched, everything in under 48 hours. And it only costs you about $50. And most of that's going to come into play for the hosting for the month, which comes out to normally about $36 if you use GoDaddy with some of their higher end stuff, and maybe you have a little bit of a course on how WordPress works and how to build websites from that perspective. One of the other reasons why it's a really good thing to start is you can have any sort of product you want. What's important here is it's not just your product, right? So you can partner with somebody that owns maybe a fitness Facebook group or a fitness product that they don't have an actual website for that they're selling, or even if they do, they would give you a discount while you mark up the price slightly, and then you profit the difference while still giving them the initial traffic to a good product. So what's important here is if you don't want to build your own, you don't have to. You just have to partner with somebody who has a good product and you're good to go. As long as their product is good, the customers will keep coming in as long as you can get it in front of them. The other half of that is if you decide you want to build your own product, right? You want to build your own courses, you want to do your own development stuff. The good news is you can pick anything you want. As long as you're selling that information, access to that information, or some sort of product potentially that they get monthly. So for example, subscription boxes, if you're used to those, are still a membership style business. They are paying per month for something. Now that, like I said, that does blend into SaaS applications and things like that. But as long as they're coming in monthly as an individual, that's normally on the scale of a membership business. So again, you can pick anything you want, and I'll have a whole video dedicated to just how you actually do that coming up in the future. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button and share as you want. That way we can kind of share the knowledge with everybody. Also, if you're wondering about a specific type of skill set that you might need to learn for something like this, or which skill sets might be marketable, go ahead and check the box at the top right. I'll go ahead and link to my 5 profitable skills that anybody can learn to make $10,000 a month. So let's take a working example here. Now let's say you want to start a membership company or a membership business that is focused around personal fitness. However, in this specific case, you maybe have looked online and found 5 or 10 tutorials on how to handle a WordPress site. So how to handle Stripe payments to include in that. So again, I'll make videos on all of that so you guys understand how to put all that together. But let's just make an assumption here at this point that you've gone through and looked up a little bit of research and you figure out how to do it. And again, most of this you can trial and error for free. It doesn't cost you anything. But with this membership model, you want to charge somebody $9.99 a month to gain access to a private Facebook group. So what's going to happen here is you're going to want to partner with somebody that has that private Facebook group. Maybe they're not selling it at all. Maybe they're giving access to those individuals on a subscription basis in terms of they're getting their newsletter that they might be trying to sell something else for, and this is just an extra pool to kind of get more information to people, but nobody's monetizing it specifically. So that's a good type of person to go ahead and contact and try to see if you can get a business relationship with them, since they already have the product and most of them already have the base for their clients as well. So what's important here to note is not everybody's going to work with you. It's going to take a little bit of time for you to kind of go out there, try to figure out who you can work with, what percentages they might want. Maybe they're not even receptive to the idea, but there's going to be somebody out there who is. You just have to find that person, and that's just a lot of legwork. You're just going to have to pick up the phone and call somebody, direct message somebody, make a post, whatever that might be to try to get their attention and get a hold of them. But once you get a hold of these people and you're already good on the communication side, they're receptive to it, then it's just a matter of logistics past this point. What percentage do they want? So in this case, we'll say that they're wanting 30% per month for every single user that you bring in. So on the $9.99, we'll round up. So now you're going to give that person $3 per month per user of the profit that you end up making for each of those customers, which leaves you $7, right? At 100 users, which again is not that far-fetched. If the product's good, there's a lot of information out there already. It gives you a lot of legway to kind of move into this really, really quickly. And getting 100 users subscribed really is not that big of a deal and not that far of a stretch when you're looking at it from an established product and you're just attaching yourself to it. But with those 100 users, that's now $700 after they get their cut in your pocket with just your $50 investment. Now, there's a little bit more involved with that with like search engine optimization to kind of get yourself noticed first along with them, which is something we'll have an entire video on. So again, subscribe if you haven't. I'll be making videos on how to do all of that as well through the whole process. So there will be a whole video series specifically on, the how, the why, how to actually launch them, physically build them, and get things rolling from a membership style, as well as SaaS companies and a bunch of others. The biggest thing to watch out for with membership businesses is something called churn. So there is a time where per month, a certain amount of users are going to unsubscribe from you. It's just always going to happen. There's no way around it. Your best bet is to try to minimize that. And we'll have a whole video on that, but I just wanted to make you guys aware that that is something you'll have to keep in mind with any sort of subscription-based model or membership style business. So all in all, membership style businesses are very powerful. They can scale as high as you want. The more you put into advertisement, the more you rank up in Google or any other search engine, the more Facebook likes you get, the more followers you get, maybe you have a LinkedIn post. All these things kind of combine and they just scale very, very, very quickly as you start getting more users. You see how that number scaled? Every 100 users is $700 in your pocket every single month. And what's important here is if you gain 100 users a month, you're still gaining that 100 from before. So if you had a month in January, you had 100 users, that's 700. Going into February, let's say you have a 50% churn, which is terrible, but let's assume the worst. You're still having 50 users making that payment every month going forward. As every month you increase by 100 users, you're offsetting that churn and you're continuously building your client base up and up and up, and that number starts to compound on itself, which is why this is so powerful. So, hope you all enjoyed the video. Again, feel free to subscribe, like, share. I'll be putting more content out there around this specific topic as well, so you guys will have a full playlist on how to actually build this out from scratch and get it launched, ready to go in your hands. Have a good one, guys.